Well, ahoy, friends and mateys. Welcome back to the couch, the bridge. It's Let's Playmond with Ted Raymond. We're doing more Uncharted Waters, New Horizons. This is Ernst von Bohr's story as we explore the world. And we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to take a pause from the adventure of mapping out the entire continent of Africa and Europe and just creating a map of the whole planet. We've been to a few places. We're going to do a little trading today, because I wanted to show off a few of the other things that this game can do. And we've got a bit of cash, and so we are going to head off and do a little bit of trading. I'm going to show you how that works. We can sail for 13 days. Alright, so we're in Bordeaux right now. I'm going to head to the starter trade route that you learn when you're playing as Ali. This is one of the better trade routes in the game in terms of what you can do with it. And it's the Istanbul to Athens route out in the Mediterranean. So we're going to head out there. We might stop at a few other ports on our way, just to kind of pop in. Like, for example, right here is Valencia. Let's see what's going on in Valencia. I don't think I was in Valencia last time. I think we've been to 20 ports so far in our adventure. What can you tell me about Valencia? Did you know that lime juice cures scurvy? That's a helpful thing to know, especially with Ernst and his long-term voyages around the world. Your sailors can get scurvy, and they sell lime juice here. A great remedy for scurvy, the disease of poor nutrition that often troubles a crew during long voyages. 1,000 gold pieces. So you'll see here on the left now, we've got 8,148 gold pieces and 2 gold bars. And gold bars are worth 10,000 gold. So we're doing okay, money-wise. You know what, I'll buy a lime juice, just in case. It won't come up yet, because I think if you stop at ports regularly, it lowers the risk of scurvy, but it will probably come up at some point as we adventure over the seas. Oh, it's nighttime. Well, let's hit the lodge. Let's see if there's anything interesting in the black market here. Is there anybody in the lodge? I heard that a good navigator was at the cafe. So when you talk to these random guys that kind of pop up on the left, these are just random portraits. I really want to look into the programming of this game when it comes to the portraits that are made for the different specific sailors, because there's every sailor that has a name in this game has a portrait, right? But there's a lot of just like random people that pop up as you're talking in the cafe or at the lodge, where someone will be like, "Oh, you're so and so. What's going on?" And it's just a random face, and I don't know if there's like an algorithm that builds them, or if they did just program in like, I don't know, like several hundred faces of just random sailors. Nothing special at the Valencia night market. Well, let's see if there's any good navigators at the cafe. 3:30 in the morning. Who's here? Diego Fagundes. Ahoy there, matey. How's life on the high seas? I am a vagabond sailor. Well, a navigator called Ramsey was looking for a job in Pisa. You like the sports tea? Heard there aren't really any capable sailors in Tunis. Or in Tunis either. Actually, I forgot to do something. We're gonna do some trading. I actually forgot to go recruit somebody. So I may just kind of swing on back to Bordeaux. think he's in Bordeaux. He's usually there. I wanted to go pick up a bookkeeper. So when you're trading, you want somebody who has accounting and negotiation skills, because that really makes things a lot easier for you. Oh, there's Kyra Din, I'm going to assume. Yep, there he is. Din's fleet is heading toward the north at a speed of 9 knots. And he's a pirate, so don't mess with him. He'll just kind of sail on by you. He likes to just sort of sail up and down the coast in the Mediterranean and Iberian Peninsula, and then just like drop anchor and wait. And so he can mess you up. All right, so I'm gonna stop in Bordeaux again. I meant to do this when I started. I think he's in Bordeaux. The person I'm looking for. There he is, Jacob Walwick. Ahoy there, matey. How's life on the high seas? I am a vagabond sailor. So what we're going to do is we're going to treat him a bunch. We're going to get him basically drunk. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hate to brag, but I have a knack for courage. And then we're going to hire him. Hey, would you like to join me and the crew for the next voyage? I'll work for you if you pay me 20 gold pieces per month. Okay, it's a deal, Commodore. So Jacob Walwick is now one of our crewmen. So we'll go to character info first. So he has the bookkeeping skill. 18 years old, loyal to Holland. So he will be able to get us some better deals on trade goods. We'll change the job duty, bookkeeper. The little star next to his name means he's got one of the requisite skills to be a good bookkeeper. So he is now our bookkeeper. And that'll save us a little bit of money, and because you can haggle down prices as you're trading in this game, and it's a great way to really extend your money. You could sail for 31 days. Professor, I mean Captain, Commodore. Thanks again for joining me on this lovely little adventure. I've really been enjoying doing Uncharted Waters New Horizons. Like I said, I was always curious about whether or not I wanted to do this one. But then a friend of mine at work says, hey, you know, I didn't recognize this game that you're playing. And so I got to tell him about it. And that was really exciting. So that's really fun that, you know, I get to share this with other folks. Who are you? This is Ropal Falera, Portuguese merchant fleet. We're heading for Tunis to make an investment there. I want to try to find, I hope I find, okay, so sometimes the game does this where it just kind of, alright, well this is because we're getting paid. Where it just sort of pauses, and I think like, because it's running this open world map, every once in a while it just kind of stops to do some calculations, I think. So there are the occasional slowdowns like this when you're sailing, especially in the busier areas of the game. Malik Yassal. There's a Turkish merchant that I really want to find because it's one of my favorite little bits of localization. Giuseppe Arleo, Italian merchant fleet. Let's see if I can find him. I will find him eventually, and we'll encounter him. It'll be great. Jules Huygen, Dutch merchant fleet. I love his mustache. So this is Italy. This is Athens. We'll stop in here next, actually. Well, you know, we might as well just stop here now. Commodore, we're going to stop in Athens. That's okay? Yeah. We'll start the trading in Athens. We'll start here. Neutral port in the Mediterranean. Hey, you're a trader, aren't you? Art is the specialty of this port. So I used bus ship at the shipyard. You know, let's go check out the bus. I don't think we've seen a bus yet. I went to school with a guy named Bus. Gordon Bus. I wonder what he's up to these days. Ooh, they've got some cool ships here. Alright, so here's the bus. It's kind of a big one. It's large and durable, but I wouldn't use it on the open seas. Alright. The Flemish galleon. This is a good ship. This ship isn't bad, just remember the payload is high. So it's a battleship. It doesn't have a lot of cargo, but it's got oars, which definitely helps with the sailing. It's very expensive, unfortunately. The Talette used to be popular in Venice, as even the smallest crew can navigate it with ease. It's not a bad ship. This one's probably pretty cheap. Buy this one? No, we will not. And the Pinnace, quite durable for its size. You can even use it when fighting pirates if you maneuver it carefully. So it's got a fairly deep hull actually for a small ship, 95 plus 40 crewmen. So you could reduce that and really save on space. 15 guns, like it's not bad. And then here's the light galley. Small ship can't withstand rough waves, so it's pretty useless on the high seas. So it's not bad. We might get ourselves a new ship this episode. We'll see how things go. And here's the lady who tells me about the port. Welcome to Athens, the city of myth and ancient ruins. Okay, well, I'm gonna hit the trade goods area. Actually, what is our cargo situation looking like? Okay, we've got a lot of food and water right now, so we don't have a lot of room. So we'll just start small. I get the feeling that you're a newcomer to the trade business. I can give you a point or two if you'd like. You're wise to listen. Here are a few things you should always remember. The cardinal rule of trading is to buy low and sell high. You want to make a big profit, of course. I have a few tricks up my sleeve when it comes to trading. First, find out the specialty of the area. Specialty goods are produced in high volume, so they're usually cheap. Although you're a greenhorn, play it cool and say no to the first price presented by us merchants. Maybe I'll offer you a lower price. That means a bigger profit. Finally, don't fill up your hull with goods if you don't have enough food and water on board. Smart traders always restock food and water as soon as they dock at the harbor. This way, they don't have to worry about it when they trade. There's nothing more foolish than throwing away goods you just bought to make room to load food and water. I hope these tips will help you. Don't forget to keep your eyes and ears open in town. Some of the people you meet on the street may be experts in trade. And so we can take a look at the trade menu. Let's start with the market rate. The general price index at Athens is 100%. Which price will you view? And so these are the different kinds of things you can trade. Spice, food, cloth, jewelry, luxury items, other kinds of items, ores, gems, fabric, and special items. And you can click on these to see what you can get for these things. So for example, if the price index of spice items is 102%, so we're getting a little bit more for spices if we were to sell them. So if I had some cloves, I could get 153 gold pieces per lot of clove. Food, for example, here we go. So the selling price is how much you pay when you're buying it from this port. That's the one on the left. On the right is the buying price, how much the port will pay for the goods that you're selling them. So as you can see, if you can buy it from the port, they're not going to pay you very much for that good. So fish, grain, olive oil, raisins, they're not really all that valuable. And so this just kind of gives you an idea of things to look at, and you can kind of get an idea of what's really valuable and what's the best place to buy and sell different things. And every port has one of these. And so it's, and every region is different. They have different, things that they want and need, just like in real life. If I wanted to invest some money, I could improve the economy. This could, in theory, unlock some new trade goods. I don't think that really does anything in Athens. And then, of course, it becomes allied with your nation, which then means I have to pay taxes on it, unless I have a tax-free permit, which I don't. That's fine. We're going to buy some goods. Art is the local specialty. So now art is pretty expensive to start. But we can buy a few lots of this. There we go. He says that price is acceptable. 375 gold per lot. No. What if I asked for 355? Can't sell that low, but how about 370 gold pieces? Jacob pipes up. Hey, you can't trick me. You'll make a fine profit even at 356 gold pieces. Okay, I give in. I'll sell to you for 356 gold pieces. So there we go. We've got room on board for 36 lots. Let's spend all of our money. Coming over, we don't have any more space in the hold. So we have 36 lots of art, and we are down to 13,000 gold pieces, so we used about half of it. We're full. One of the things you can do, if you have a good bookkeeper, go in the cargo info, or is it log of goods? Log of goods. Art. As far as I remember, Alexandria will pay you plenty for art, so we could go to Alexandria and sell it, but we're not going to do that. Ahoy there, matey. We're going to be shoving off. Have a good sail for 20 days. We are going to head up to Istanbul, not Constantinople. Istanbul is the capital of Turkey in the Ottoman Empire. I heard that some people will pay for information about the exotic things you may discover in a voyage. It's very true. How may I help you? And so we're going to sell the art. 400. So we just made a nice tidy profit. We don't have any goods to sell. So now you'll see that the market rate, the general price index at Istanbul, has now dropped to 97%. And the price index of luxury items is 87%. Art and carpet are both considered luxury items. So if you're trading the same thing, you sell the art, which lowers the market rate for luxury items, which makes carpets cheaper. And then you can get an even better deal, sail back, and sell it in Athens, which has a higher market rate for luxury items because you just bought a bunch of art. Right? Supply and demand. If you don't have a tax-free permit, you pay 20% tax in addition to the price. Now, I could have gone to, I believe it's Algiers that sells the black market tax-free permit, but that's fine. What a bargain! Carpet will cost you 218 gold. No? Alright, well, let's see. Let's do 208 gold. How about 215? Hey, you can't trick me. You'll make a fine profit even at 207 gold pieces. Okay, I give it. I'll sell it to you for 207. And we'll just load up again. And we're going to sail back to Athens and sell this carpet. So remember, we paid 207 gold. We are not going to stop in Istanbul. We'll head on down here. Sell our carpet at 342. Way higher, because you'll see here the market rate 104%. Hang on, just before I do that, let's take a look here. 104%, and the luxury goods rate is 114. So we're getting a 14%. We're getting a 14% increase on our carpets. Every port's economy is contained to itself, as far as I remember. So you can kind of manipulate, and then like later in the game, you know, you can really manipulate these market rates for certain things, where sometimes you take a loss at one port, so you're not selling at a profit, but you're driving down the price of the thing you want to buy, that you then sail to another port and sell at a huge markup, and it's just bananas. But you kind of have to set things up a little bit in order to do that. And he's get 356, so the market rate is about the same as last time, so we'll just stick with that. And we've got room for 48, so let's buy 48 lots of art. And since we've got a small crew, you know, we can sail for longer. We only need enough men to push the ship forward. And when you're trading, you don't need a lookout, and you don't really need a combat team unless you're trading in distant waters, and pirates are an actual risk. But your trade ships generally don't have cannons on them because that takes up cargo space, and you need the cargo space for more goods. We're not going to stop Municipal just yet. I just want to, there we go. I want it to be morning, so I can just go straight to the market. Alright. 384. Tidy little profit there. We've driven down the price of carpets. If I did have the tax-free permits, these carpets would be really cheap. And because Athens is a neutral port, it doesn't have any taxation to it, so like 197 is a great price. Athens doesn't have any taxation to it, so it's all pure profit as you're trading. Let's explore your symbol a little bit. Right now, more than half of the Mediterranean is controlled by the Ottoman Empire. Commodore, this building is locked. So this comes up in Ali's story. Not really anything special in there for anybody else. Okay, yeah, it's only 7:30, so the item store is closed. We'll stop at the Round Earth Society. I think, as I mentioned in a previous episode, in some versions of this game, this would be a mosque. In which case, if you were playing as Ernst, you wouldn't be able to pray here because Ernst is a Christian and not a Muslim. But because it is a Nintendo game from the 90s, religious references were completely removed. I saw you used a Now ship at the shipyard. So it just becomes this generic educational Round Earth Society place where you just go and study. What kind of used ships do they have here? Now, light galley, ooh, a Zebek, that's new. For such a large ship, this is quite easy to maneuver. I highly recommend it. Will you buy this one? How much do you want for it? 44,000. Okay, I don't have that much money. I think he'll accept as low as 36,080 gold pieces. So that's another thing that having a bookkeeper helps with, is determining the price of a used ship. A little bit out of my price range, but Zebeks are pretty good. I do like them. Here's the galleon. This is a battleship, but it's also useful for trading if its payload is kept low, not for the unseasoned sailor. Galleons are very powerful. And the Venetian galleass. No other ship can overcome this floating bastion in close combat. Will you buy this one? Sell it for 64,000 gold pieces. So I believe, until you unlock like the super ships late in the game, the Venetian galleass is probably the most expensive of the ships that you can buy. And it is very powerful. It's got oars, and in case it needs to be said, carpet is the specialty of Istanbul. It's got oars, it can sail anywhere, it's got room for lots of cannons, you can put a bunch of men on it and just wreak havoc across the seas. If you were playing as a pirate or privateer character, or if you just decided to become a pirate one day. Ahoy, matey, we'll be shoving off. We can sail for 11 days. Alright, let's get sailing. So part of this process of trading, are you who I'm looking for? There's Marwan Hazan, Turkish merchant fleet. Not the guy I'm looking for. Part of the reason I was like, hesitant about this game is just because this part is kind of repetitive. I might do some trading off screen just to build up a bit of cash. Because it is just kind of going back and forth and running through menus. But I want to build up a little bit of money and get myself a nice, larger kind of sturdier sailing ship for the future adventures we're going to take on. Because I think the next place I'm gonna go is around Africa. But our little ship isn't really going to get us there. Unfortunately, it's just not quite equipped for the journey. So I will look at here. My fame in trade has not increased at all yet. Just buying and selling goods won't make you a famous merchant. You actually have to invest money in ports. You have to spend a bunch of money to convert neutral ports or ports that aren't allied with your nation into ports that are allied with your nation. This is Rashid Jabbar, Turkish battle fleet. Who are you looking for, Rashid? We're looking for Andrea of Italy. So in this game, Italy and Turkey are kind of at odds with each other. If you're playing as a Turkish character, Ali, you might not be able to get into Italian ports, and if you're playing as Pietro, the Italian, you can't get into Turkish ports. The other thing is, Italy's a very weak country in this game. This is not an endorsement or comment on real life. I'm just speaking specifically about this game. One of the first things that happens in Uncharted Waters New Horizons is merchant fleets go crazy investing in Italian ports to the point where it gets to be that only the capital is occupied by Italy. Everything else is not. And there are like a handful of ports along the boot, as it were, that start off as Italian ports, but I imagine by now they're probably not Italian anymore. Alright, well, it should be able to get to Athens before we run out of food. Oh yeah, it takes about a day or so to do it if you've got a fast enough ship. There we go. Oh, it's nighttime. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so I've got 31,000. I believe this town does have an item shop. So let's see if we can find anything interesting. And then I'll just have to wait for the markets to open for the day. Society Bank. There it is. Item shop. What do you have here? Sure, you'll find something you like. Saber, lime juice, circlet, and theodolite. Okay, so yeah, I can get these in Amsterdam as well. But if you're starting in the Mediterranean, maybe you want to buy one here. Okay, no, so nothing absolutely necessary at this point in time. Most stuff is closed at night. Ooh, we can go into the fortune teller, I think. Oh, I don't know what time the fortune teller is open. I think it might be at midnight. Like, let's see who's in the ooh, Gus Johnson. Ahoy there, matey. How's life on the high seas? I am a vagabond sailor. I heard there aren't really any capable sailors in Tripoli. Gus, I believe, has gunnery. He's a good combat sailor. Let's do a little gambling. You know what? Let's do it. Interested in playing cards with me? So this is just standard blackjack. Ooh, not bad. We'll bet 500 gold. Big spender. Let's hope you're ready to play. I'll stand on this. Ha! I have blackjack. I'll take double the stakes. Another bet? Well, so I just lost 1,000 gold. Of all the things. Of all the things, eh? Let's do it. Let's do one more. Alright, how are we doing here? 4? Maybe we won't spend quite so much. We'll do 100. Good luck. 15. 15 again. 21. I have to let you win sometimes. Will you let it ride? If you win, you'll double your bet. If you lose everything. Let's stand on 19. Sorry, you lost your bet. Okay. I had a good time, thanks to you. Come back soon. When I played this game as a teenager, we abused save states to try to just like win tons of money without having to work for it. And I could theoretically do that. Like the Nintendo Switch does have the rewind function. So I could, if I wanted to, just go and get my money back. But that's okay. I lost, what did I lose? 1,100, I think. Because he took double and he got blackjack. Like, of all the things, of all the odds, right? I've got 20 and he gets blackjack. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so we're just going to toss off these carpets here. This is going to be a nice little payday. Boom. So that's not bad for how much, you know, for what, 20 minutes of trading back and forth? A couple of trips? Actually, I should supply up, so let's supply. 36, 720 pieces, fine. Alright, I'm gonna sail back to Amsterdam. Sala Iskal, Turkish battle fleet. And we will build ourselves a new ship. We'll stop in some Italian ports though. I want to visit these. This is Ragusa. Ragusa is a neutral port now. It has been invested in. You might actually see... Okay, so on the right-hand side, underneath the economy and industry, so the scales and the gears, there's the number 150 and there's another number underneath 0. Every month, it can only go to a maximum of 50,000 gold worth of investments. So if other nations are investing in the port, you will see that number there. I saw you use like galley ship at the shipyard. This one doesn't have very high industry, so it's probably not got a lot of anything interesting or good. Dye is the specialty of this port. It's good to know. There's an item shop here. Let's see what they sell. Sure you'll find something you like. A quadrant and a dagger. So a quadrant is the low precision instrument used for celestial navigation. Measures the longitude and latitude. 4,000 gold pieces. No thanks. What else can you tell me about? The item shop here doesn't have a very good selection. Alright, well, would have liked to have found you earlier. I am going to visit the lodge, however. And we'll see. I heard that a good navigator is at the cafe. See, that guy kind of looks like another guy that we saw, but he's sort of different. Like, I don't know if you get what I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm gonna look into that. before the next time, and just see how the faces, if it is just like, you know, hundreds of different like faces that they all drew, or if there is some kind of like code that randomly generates, you know, based on certain characteristics. You know, it selects like 2 or 3 characteristics and cobbles together a face. That seems unlikely given the age of this game. It's like from 1993, but like, I don't know. This game does a lot of stuff that you didn't see on the Super Nintendo back in those days. Yeah, okay, so it does not have a good selection. Okay, that's fine. The dagger is the weakest item for duels. It's the weakest sword, because it's a dagger. It's not even a full sword. But it's better than nothing, I suppose, if you're dueling. I don't think there's anything up in here. This is Venice, so we'll stop in Venice. See, it's allied with Turkey. The Turks have come and invested in Venice. They haven't done it lately, but they've gotten the economy up to 807 and industry up to 798. So Venice is doing very well for itself. Glassware is the specialty of this port. So I used Karak ship at the shipyard. You could probably get some good ships in Venice. The large bank in this port is the headquarters of the Marco Polo Bank. I don't think I've been to a bank yet. And they've got a giant bank. What's off this way? Oh, they've got a geographer here too. Let's find out the name of the geographer in this town. Giovanni da Varenzo. May I help you? But I've got a contract with Mercator instead, so... If you don't have geography skills, you can learn cartography skills at a cartographer. It costs a lot of money, but once you have it, you can then recoup that investment by making a map of the world. It's a way to get some extra money and fame. So, I can deposit, withdraw, borrow, or repay a loan. My maximum credit line is 11,000 gold pieces. Because I'm a page, as you'll recall in the last episode, I got a royal rank, so I can take out a bigger loan if I want. Because it was previously only 1,000 gold. So as your royal rank goes up, you can take out larger loans. Of course, larger loans mean that you have to pay back a larger amount once you do have to pay it back. But it's a good way to get kind of jump-started on trading as well, which I didn't do, but that's fine. What do we have here? Chainmail, sextant, and an épée. This is a nice little thrusting sword. Okay, it's the second worst weapon in the game. Light sword with a sharp pointed blade, but no cutting edge, only used for thrusting and dueling. It's not very effective when it comes to attacking. It's not a very good sword. 2,000 gold pieces. No thanks. I don't know if I will have Ernst do any battling. I might, you know what, because I might try it. I might try it later. He's not the greatest combatant, but it is kind of fun to do a duel in this game. But I wanted to do kind of a slower paced, more relaxing, you know, adventuring, maybe a little bit of trading, occasionally kind of playthrough with this one. There's plenty of action to be had in many other video games. One of the things I love about this game is that it doesn't have to be action-packed. This is Syracuse. This is also allied with Turkey. The Turks have just kind of run roughshod over Italian ports. See, here you go, that 25-1. So Turkish merchants have stopped here and have invested 25,000 gold pieces in the markets, which has then, you know, indebted this town to Turkey. Don't ever confuse this town with Majorca. We're superior to those grain traders. Okay. I think I pronounced that right. This port has nothing special in the market. Unlike Those grain traders who sell grain. I want to know who localized this. Short sword lime juice, so again, nothing special. I do like to stop off at the Round Earth Society as often as possible just to do a quick little study, because it does give you a chance to increase your luck stat. And I always still think that it's like, you know, it's part of Ernst's character. He goes to the port to the Round Earth Society in a new port to learn things. One of the things I didn't look at last time at the lodge, if you go to port info, this port is allied with Turkey, so it'll tell you who's invested in it, how much support it has. So it's 100% Turkey. The Turks have just completely taken it over. I heard there was a good navigator at the cafe. They all say that. If there's nobody here, they'll say that. Sometimes the good navigator is one of your own navigators. Alright, well, we'll see what's in the black market in this town. If I remember right, this place sells the Italian tax-free permit. I do remember right. It is one of the most useless items in the game because Italy doesn't have any ports. Like, Turkey has kind of taken over much of the Mediterranean, and the Italians have sort of lost a lot of their sphere of influence. This, I believe, is Naples. There it is. Napoli. Alright, well, let's stop in Naples. We'll kind of do a little tour of Italy. So Naples is a neutral port. It hasn't been invested in right now, at least this month yet. Professor Giuliano, a famous astronomer, lives in this town. So if I check the port info, you'll see Turkey has 40%, Italy has 60%, so this is a neutral port. The Turkish are investing in it, but it is no longer fully under control of Italy. Used Flemish galleon, that's a good ship. So this individual will teach you celestial navigation. I teach celestial navigation. So you want to learn celestial navigation? You already have the skill. Knowledge of the stars will guide you safely over the seas. Yes. Ernst already has celestial navigation, but you can learn it from Professor Giuliano for, I believe it's something around 40 to 50,000. Oh, and there's this item shop way off in the corner there. I wonder what we can get there, because sometimes the more far off the item shop is in a town, sometimes it means there's really good stuff in there. So let's find out. Let's hit up the lodge. This is a design philosophy that doesn't exist much in games these days, where every town is individually designed and you actually like go in the buildings and you can walk around inside the building. Even if they use the same map in every single building, like a lot of games nowadays, the shop would just be a menu. You wouldn't be able to go inside. Aha! Crusader's armor. Star level defense. Armor that the famous armorer Monteguinus made to order for Afonso, the founding king of Portugal. 600,000 gold pieces. So again, best armor in the game. Very, very powerful armor. I believe better than Errol's plate, which we saw in a previous episode in Copenhagen, because it is twice as expensive as Errol's plate. It's got the same star rating, but I do think the more expensive the armor is, the better it is. But there you go. There's what's going on in Naples. This is Pisa, if I'm not mistaken. Allied with Portugal, of all things. That's interesting. So the Portuguese have taken over this port. Oh, look at these investments. 14,000 in the market and 50,000 the maximum in industry. Like, people are investing. Duke Medina is collecting information about novel things from around the world. So he's another discovery guy. He does not pay as well as Professor Mord in Bordeaux, so we will not be visiting him. I'm sure you'll find something you like. Rapier, brass candle holder, broadsword. But I do like being able to walk into buildings in these old RPGs. I like having kind of a world that sort of lives and breathes, right? And that has places you can go and be inside, and I like being able to sit in chairs and live in the world of the game, you know. As much as I appreciate modern conveniences, silk cloth is a specialty of this port. I do kind of like sort of the old school style of just being able to kind of like walk in places and live in a world and feel like it actually like is built up in a way that matters, you know? Sometimes it's just like, it's disappointing when there are houses, when there are buildings you can't go in, and when there are where shops just become menus and it's all transactional. And I get that that's the whole point. You're just going to walk up to the guy to get to the shop menu, but you know, I like that you can go in the store. I don't know. It's hard to explain sometimes. All right, so England has also been investing. Look at that. One thing that you'll note is absent from this port is a certain leaning tower. They don't mention it. I don't know the construction date of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Maybe it was after this. I've never actually looked it up. Nothing special here. I'd look it up on my phone, but I'm using my phone to record right now. I hope you're still enjoying how I'm doing this as well, just like this Let's Playmond sitting on the couch with me watching the TV kind of style. You know, I am tempted sometimes, do I get the capture card and Luigi Mangia, Italian battle fleet. That one's pretty good too. We're sailing in a convoy to protect merchant fleets. It's not safe around here these days. And we will stop in Genoa. This is the capital of Italy. This is where Pietro starts. This town is governed by our Governor General. Thank you for letting us know. Actually, if I go and talk to the guild master, we haven't done the guild yet, and I think I'll do some guild missions in the next one. We're running out of time here. Are you the new kid in town? I've been waiting to meet you. I remember when I was your age. Under this grey head of mine is a noggin full of useful knowledge. Let me tell you about the guild. Thank you, it won't take long. The guild is a place where you can get hired to complete a mission for someone. Successful completion of a mission will not only add to your gold, but increase your fame as well. If you fail to complete your mission, you'll lose not only the reward, but also your fame. So make sure you're able to before you promise to complete a mission. And so if I get country info, which country do you want information about? Italy. Will you pay 100 gold pieces? Sure. It seems Italy is cracking down on pirates. And so you'll see this alliance or blockade. Italy has a blockade with Turkey. The relations are very low. Merchant fleet is going to Pisa. Yeah, let's see what's going on with Holland. Let's pay another 100 bucks. Yes, here we go. And Holland is pretty neutral with everybody. Well, it seems Holland is out to get Italy. Well, news to me. Merchant fleet is going to Pisa. So, okay. Alright, well, we're out to get Italy. I'll do some guild missions later. But I'm just going to stop in the Governor General's residence. I'm on a page now, so I can just waltz right in. Welcome, Page Von Bohr. Please proceed to the Royal Hall. You can't enter palaces if you're a commoner. Once you have a royal rank, you can go and you can meet the ruler. Sphere of influence. Welcome, Page Von Bohr. We're not allied with any ports in the world, just our capital city. Italy is not doing well. But I could defect. I could become Italian if I wanted. So you can go to other nations and you can defect and change your loyalty. It's something I've never done. Because I don't know really what it does, and I know that in some circumstances it can actually like prevent you from beating the game. Cutlass quadrant in a velvet coat. So I've never defected. But like there's a lot of systems in this game that, you know, I like even all of the times that I've played it, I still have not fully explored. Pietro is one where defecting, I think, can come in handy just because of the fact that he's an Italian, and there's these blockades with Turkey, so it makes it, if you get into a port during the day, in a port that is allied with a nation that has a blockade against you, they will not let you in. You just have to, this is Marseille. We will visit Marseille another day. They will not let you into the port if there's a blockade. You just like, supply your ship and leave. Just go. You can't come into the port. You can go in at night. You can sneak in. Colin Lowe, British merchant. And then, of course, though, if you enter into buildings, and Thomas Grisham, another British merchant fleet. If you enter into certain buildings when a country has, when you have a low standing with a particular country, you can get arrested, and they'll take all of your money. It's a whole thing. Alphonse Andelaide, battle fleet from Portugal. I'm really looking for this one guy. Marin Glottis from Holland. I will find him one day, and you will see. I'm not going to spoil the joke. Maurice Layden. Commodore crew was paid 40 gold pieces in wages. Edmund Harvey, British merchant fleet. So, like, as you could see when I was visiting those Italian ports, people were investing in them. Like, this is a living, breathing world that operates and goes on as your... Is this guy based on Teller? Like, he kind of doesn't, like, do you see it? I don't know. I gotta look into the portraits. I'm gonna do that after this, and I'll find out if there's any information anywhere about how these portraits were come up with. Jacques Broom, I love him. Very HMS Pinafore looking guy. Like, we're looking for Andrea of Italy. Willem Hein. Alright. Well, let's return to Amsterdam. Let's go home. And we are going to build ourselves a ship. We're going to spend some money. What brings you to this shipyard? Ho! You can afford a new ship. And I think we're going to build ourselves a now. This is a mid-sized ship with a large cargo space. It's easy to maneuver, suitable for adventurous voyages. Yes. What kind of hull? So, you can choose the kind of wood, and if you look in the top right, the better wood makes it more durable. So let's get an oak hull. This one will cost you 33,330 gold pieces. Is it a deal? No, I think he'll accept as low as 27,330. So let's pay that. 27,330. Okay, I give in. I'll sell it to you for 27,330 gold pieces. All right, it's yours. Time to name your ship. Well, we're going to stick with the spirit of this journey. Oops. And we're going to call it the Mercator 2. I'll use the numeral. I ran out of space. I was really hoping for Roman, but that's fine. Mercator 2. Okay, I'll start building ye a mighty fine vessel. How many bunks for the crew? So we need at minimum 25 men to move it forward. I'm going to want some men on lookout, so I'm going to set it up for 40 men. Make space for how many guns? 0 guns. Is this okay? Yes. It will take 43 days to build your ship. So, it is October the 2nd, 1522. So we will come back in mid-November. Now, we could just stay at the lodge over and over and over again. But we will come back in mid-November and get ourselves our brand new ship. It's got a much larger hull, and we can do a lot of trading with it and make a bunch of money, and that will finance our journey through the rest of the world. For now, we're going to take a break, and I will see you next time on Let's Playmond with Ted Raymond.